right, let's get started. Welcome everyone. I hope everyone's going well tonight. I'll just move that a little closer. Oh, I changed the lighting color. Yeah, let's jump straight into it. So we're continuing off where we left last time, except I ended up doing a little bit more work. I'm in the docs right now. So I'm just going to pull all the changes. There we go. So I figured out that the group list was not being put in the serialization and stuff like that. However, we still need it kind of in there. So what I'm doing here is I'm double checking it here. I will also need to I've got to probably double check everything. So yeah, aka make sure that the group lists do contain group lists and stuff like that. So what we could potentially do is change this away from serializers hyperlink serializer and actually set this up where all of this is connected to something, and then we'll fix all of that up. However, I think at the moment, let's just continue with what we're doing. We might need to do a little bit of research. I also want to test this whole entire thing. I want to get Postman working properly. So I got a lot of screenshots, a lot of NearBeach backgrounds. All right, just give me 2 seconds. And hey, Adrian Learns, how are you going? Hopefully you're going well. And remove anything that's WebP. Oh, and PNG. And remove anything that's that. And anything that's that. Okay. Oh, I forgot to... Where's my iPad? I forgot to set up my screen. So, yeah. All right. There we go. We've got that all set up just in time for the ads. And there's the ads. All right, ad time. Ooh, Stream Manager's not working for me. Let's give me a couple of seconds. Sorry. Exit out of that. I might need to update Twitch. No. There we go. All right. Cool. Hopefully everyone's going well. It's Friday, so I'm happy. Yeah. And I think the API is coming along really, really well. So we'll probably end up doing a bunch of tests with this today. Yeah, there's a couple of things I want to do before I can say let's release this as it's something that we will implement slowly over the next couple of releases. So yeah. Anyway, 22 seconds. Holy hell! All right, cool. These are some long ad breaks. For those on YouTube, we run ads every half an hour so people don't get ads on Twitch when they first join. You on YouTube don't get ads. There's a lot of people who don't get ads on Twitch either, so don't feel bad. So yeah, all right. Welcome back everyone. Let's click on this. Let's just see what's in here. Cool. Yep, that'll do. Let's go to Postman again. We just have the regular 64, or I should get rid of these folders. So wait, let me clean up my downloads. Alright, it's just those that are not working, but that's fine. That should be downloaded, yep. What I should do, sudo package install Postman. Oh, it's a tar, alright. I'm being naughty. Hang on. Snap. Basic find. All right. Find Postman. Oh, we got Postman. Yep. Publisher Postman Inc. Yep. All right. Cool. Snap. Install Postman. All right. And hopefully this just works. Fingers crossed. My Electron app. All right. Starship Postman. All right. Someone put something random on Snap. All right. Cool. That's a verified publisher. All right. Sweet. Let's go Postman. Postman, sweet. I'm going to duplicate this tab. I'm just going to open up this. I'm going to be like, all right, I'm going to put you over here. You will go over here like so. Give me a couple of seconds. Sorry, everyone. I just got to sign in. If your browser doesn't open. All right. Do I need to use double authentication? Two-factor? Nope. All right, let's get back into it. So, we've got a test in here and stuff like that. We're all happy with that. I am going to keep that collection in there. I'm going to make a new collection. I'm going to call it I want to rename the okay, what will it be called? Django REST framework. Right, cool. And then in here, what we want to do is we want to create a new request and close all other tabs. We're going to call it list projects. And what I want to do is come into here. I want to play with the cube. So after last time stream, I figured out that yeah, it's not going to get the data. So we got this. And then what we've got to do is, yeah, it's not ideal, and I want to make it more ideal. So we do have a bunch of CRUD. So we've got destroy, we've got list, and so forth like that. So yeah. We've got retrieve, and we need to actually write out update. So we haven't done anything with update at the moment, and that will be pretty simple. We'll get all the fields that we require and so forth like that. All right, I'm going to close that. I'm going to close that. We should have NearBeach running. So it should have the latest code. We don't have Docker running. There we go. All right, so, and another thing, I've gotten rid of this. So you can't see the API now. If you type in projects, you'll get them as plain JSON. We've also set up a limit of, I think, 100 for the page size and stuff like that. We'll be going back with a default. So much like how in the search we default in the search, we'll be defaulting in this too. We just got to import that particular variable. However, you can override it up to, I think we picked a certain number. So if we go into list, we can have the page sizes and all that kind of stuff. And another thing is this does what we've already doing elsewhere, so we'll let me rephrase that. No, I won't rephrase that. Actually, no, I will rephrase it. We could potentially use the search functionality that we rebuilt the other day for this, and we'll probably test that out today. And Mole 8, how are you? Hopefully you're going well. Good morning, good afternoon from me. So, yep, sun is setting here. Slowly, it'll be set within, it's almost 7, so it'll be set within an hour. So, yeah. How have you been? Hopefully well. So yeah, I'll probably set this up so we contact the search backend that we've done. Because then we get the data we need, and then we can pass the data from there to the front. Yeah, the idea being is we're not doing a lot of this. This is all duplicated code. I only put it in there to get this working. And then, yeah, we'll refactor it to be better, and yeah. You're okay? Oh, that's good to hear. It is Friday, so, you know, yay. Weekend is almost here. And I'm getting distracted with the cube again. All right. Cool. Yeah, 7 p.m. in Melbourne, 10 a.m. there for you. All right, fair enough. So full day of work ahead. Fair enough. Fair enough. So yeah, hopefully I make some of it go faster. All right. So what I want to do is I want to go HTTP 127.0.0.1 8000 API, and then we just want projects. Now this should come back with an issue, and it does. We don't actually have any API key for it. So yeah. Oh, I like that. The height applause. Yeah. So we're going to need to create a API key for this thing. Let me just go over here. Yeah, let's go over here. CD sites NearBeach. Let's go source VM bin activate. What I want to do is Python manage migrate. No migrations to apply. Okay, I am just going to go into here. I'm going to go localhost admin. Yeah, we don't have any of the sorry, we don't have any of the Django REST framework stuff in here. So what I got to do is I got to jump into here and actually migrate it over into here, because that's one way we can actually edit the stuff is through this admin panel. All right. So we've got to do the Django REST framework API key. Permissions. All right. So permissions, object level. All right. Serializing. Yep. All right. That's perfectly fine. Send the permissions. The default permission policy may be set globally using that. So we might want to set everything up globally. The reason being is if we set it up globally. Oh wait, I wanted the views. Yeah, we don't need to put these in here. Yeah. Do you take other PM systems as an example for NearBeach? And thank you very much for the bits. Greatly appreciated. So, kinda. Yeah, we've made improvements due to the fact that we're seeing something else work a lot better elsewhere. So, yeah, we do take some ideas from other systems and stuff like that. But not just necessarily project management systems either. So, yeah. We also accept ideas from people too. So a couple of the ideas in NearBeach. So a good example would be under the Kanban board system. Let's just go into this one. You can actually collapse all of these levels, and that was actually a user request. So yeah. All right, where was I? I was trying to get these permissions into there. All right. You mostly work with Atlassian tools like Trello and Jira, fair enough. Yeah, we use Jira at work. And Confluence. They're like a monopoly, yeah. Hopefully one day I'll get as good as them, you know. Alright, so what I'm going to do is, I probably will put this into the setting. So we're going to go into the settings. I'm going to minimize this. I'm going to open up NearBeach. I'm going to open up the local. I'm going to open up the settings. I am just making sure this isn't in here already. No, it isn't. So, I don't think I'll go to the end for these. I think up here it would be a lot better. I'm just going to copy these. I'm just going to paste it in. So default permission classes, we've got the is authenticated. I'm just going to put this over here for reference at the moment. We're going to write these, all of these ones out. So we want REST framework dot permissions dot. That's the is authenticated. All right, wrong one. I'm also thinking of default permission or authentication classes. And then we do something like that. And then we've got REST framework, but oh, yep, REST. REST framework dot authentication dot session authentication. And then what we got to do is do that a couple of times. I'm just cheating. And token authentication. All right. So what I've got to do is I've got to set up the Django REST framework token authentication. The token authentication provided by the Django REST framework is fairly simple implementation. For an implementation that allows more than one token per user, has some tighter security implementation details, and supports token expiry, please see Django REST Nox. We're not going to implement that yet. The authentication scheme uses a simple token-based HTML authentication to scheme. Token authentication is appropriate for client-server setups as such as native desktops and mobile clients. To use a token, you'll need to configure the authentication classes to include token authentication. Easy done. Django REST framework authentication in your installed app. So we do need to go into the installed apps. I'm putting this one back over here. We're kind of finished with it. So that should do all that. Yeah, let's roll on up to installed apps. So we got we just need the REST framework auth token. Like so. And I'm just going to hit run again. We should go over here. We should see some migrations happen now. So that's part of the auth token. We go back over here with the site admin. We're just hitting refresh. We should now see tokens up here, auth tokens. So we're just going to create a token. It's going to be part of the user admin. Actually, no, I'm going to... Yeah, let's do with the admin. We're just clicking on this. We're going to copy this. And yeah, it should be that simple. Remind me later. I never install updates whilst on stream because it always breaks stream. So, going in here, token authentication, all that kind of stuff. So, with the curl, okay, so I'm just having a quick remember. API key. Oh, sorry. That was a big one. Go over here and let's just do a send bad request. All right, that's fine. Authorization, go no auth at the moment. And what we kind of want is authorization in here. We want token, space, and then our token. No, bad request still. Okay, not a problem. Okay. What I can do is I can click import. We can paste in their example. I'm just going to put it in here. I'm going to go import without saving. I'm going to actually remove our list project. I'm just going to delete that one and be like, all right, cool. So authorization has no, and that has the header. And then that will be projects. We're still getting a 400 bad request. All right, I am going to... I'm just going to put that on there. All right, let's have a look. HTML preview. All right, no, that's a simple one. Oh, it's taking a while because I forgot I put debug on it. There we go. And there we go. This is Jason. So that's working perfectly fine. Now, what we want to do is we want to test all the different permutations and make sure it's secure enough, because I don't want to release an API and have it opened. So we're going to do that. We're also going to start writing unit tests for the API. So yes, it's going to be a busy night. All right. Yeah, so we're going to have to write a couple of tests, which will be fine. I also want to test other users too, so I want to test the team leader. Oh, I hate when it doesn't fill it out. All right. There should be list projects, team leader. Easy done. So what we'll end up doing is a team leader one and an admin one and so forth like that. So the team leader shouldn't get everything. Should only get stuff that they've got access to. And I've copied the wrong thing. And what I'll do is I will destroy this one. So yeah, we've got that. So that's list projects, team leader. Let's create a new one, new request, and it's going to be get project one team leader failed. All right, we know this is going to fail. Okay, so the URL will be http projects I no, and then 1 at the end. And this will send back, ooh, an internal server problem, which is not correct. I should be writing down everything I need to get done tonight. We're elevating the stream. Yes, yes we are. I love it. Yeah, I've been sitting for most of the day, so it's nice to stand up. All right. Oh, I can hit the preview. Project view set has no attribute user. Yeah, it doesn't. Let's... So that's create. That's just row, that's list. That's retrieve. Or are we, is it because of that? Let's resend it. Stand up. Very good puns. I love them. I love them. All right, I'm just seeing if it breaks here. No, it doesn't. We get the team leader. I think I know where. Actually, no, I don't know where. All right, let's scroll down. Username equals request.user. Where is that? That's under generic permissions. Ah, okay. Generic permissions, line 15. This is a... No, I didn't want that. Under NearBeach, under decorators, check user permissions, generic permission. Okay, so the problem here is this one line here. So when using Django, we can use request.user, but when using the API, we've got to use request user. So to get around this, what we need to do is define the user. And we've just hit our second ad break. Really? So far? Holy hell. All right. Give me a couple of seconds. Sorry, I just need to actually write some things down whilst I am still remembering them. All right, I need to go to NearBeach. OAuth, no. API. Implementation. Okay, oops. To do. I've already forgotten what I wanted to do. Unit tests. Okay. How are we with ads? We're doing okay. Fix group lists. And welcome back, everyone. All right, let's get back into this. So we've got to do a ternary thingy. So it's this equals request.user if has attribute user in request. Else it will be request.request.user. Alright, I am not a fan. But that being said, this is quick and easy. We can be like, alright, cool, this is just one line. And then we just replace this with user. And I can see us doing this everywhere else. So if we have a look for a request on here. Alright, cool. So this is fixed for this particular one. If we go back to here and we click on send again, attribute string must be a string, not a project set. Alright. Let's see what I did with the other one. So not object. Oh wait, there it is. Ah, I got them around the wrong way. There we go. Oh yeah, we need to finish upgrade. Or complete upgrade. Implement upgrade. Ooh, this location ID, eh? All right, cool. So the one thing I don't want to do is create permissions for permission checkers for just the API. I want to sort of combine them into one. And it looks like we're just hitting a couple of issues. So we've got this Quargs one. Which is part of the generic permissions. So if I go into generic permissions, I'm just going to add a breakpoint in here. We're just going to hit send. We've hit the breakpoint. So having a look at these up here. Oh. Yeah, this won't work. All right. So what's actually happening is it's coming through here and it's been like, cool, the object lookup is actually in the, yeah, all right. Okay. Ah. Nearly hit myself in the face. So there's some good news, some bad news. We might be able to still use this perfectly fine. We've just got to shape it in a particular way. So when it comes through, it still checks all of this and so forth like that. In which case, we've then got to do an API check permission here. So what it's done is, if we have a look at the API, use generic permission. So if we actually go to that particular one, here we are in object permission. So it goes through, checks this out. We deal with the requested user and stuff like that. We make sure the user isn't, if they are a super user, we just send back 4. Yup, with their past, and then this is just a checking of the stuff. So and this is just all the sort of generic sort of stuff which we do to make it work for us. So Kanban cards, so forth like that. Eventually this will be in a switch case. It's just at the moment those aren't supported in Python 9. So Python switch case. So it'll eventually be, oh, not like that, but it'll eventually be in this. But we've got to wait till Python 3.9 is deprecated or not supported anymore, because we currently support it because Python supports it. So, yeah. It would be nice. Okay, so then we go into generic permissions and stuff like that. I mean, we might need to create an API permissions. That might be it. There are special cases when it's a Kanban card. Because with the Kanban card, we check the parents, requirement item, we check the parents, destination equals change task, we check the parents, organizations, that is just in itself a separate permission. And so forth like that. All right. Sorry, give me a couple of seconds. I'm just thinking about a bunch of things in the top of my head and how I'm going to tackle this. One of the ways I would probably tackle this is I would implement the API permission checks, make them very, very generic. We can use that generic object thing, and then slowly deprecate all of these other checks. Because all of these other checks should be almost the same. And it's just rendering the information on the page, but also because we're moving everything to the API, that will be just one call. It'll be the new page and the information page. And in those specific cases, you won't necessarily have a location ID, but it should be generic enough that with the generic permissions, if the quargs is greater, otherwise it'll run a check with the... Yeah, and then I can do the object lookup and the quarg still... But even then, I can make this really, really generic. And hey, Carson, how are you going? Going good for me. I am just thinking how I am going to probably tackle the permissions when implementing the API, because I've just come across a little issue. And we don't want to release the API until it's been secured. So, for example, people can only see the projects that they are meant to see and so forth like that. So, yeah. Just figuring this out. I think we can still use these generic permissions and stuff like that. The Gantt chart was a special case. And hey, Mattbird Quest, how are you going? How's your stream today? I was sadly working all day and couldn't jump in, but I did see you streaming at around 10 o'clock. All right. Now it'll probably be based off this. Because we can still get generic permissions to work. We just insert into the quargs the location ID if needed. How much progress have you made in the last couple of days? Actually a fair amount. So we're getting everything rendered. I'll show you. We're getting it to work, which is great. So yeah, that's all good. We've made sure that the pretty HTML view is no longer there. People will still be able to sort of get to the API if they're logged in. Makes sense. Though if we turn off that, we don't want to turn off that feature, because if we get the front end to contact the API, we still want that to actually happen. So yeah. It's just slow at the moment because I got to rethink the permissions, which is really annoying because I spent so long actually refactoring them and making them better. But that being said, we have kind of moved on from them. So yeah, considering we will eventually move everything into the API, that will make everything even more generic. We just need to worry about the children now. So for example, a Kanban card. Oh yeah, and the cat treats. I will be right back. The cat's in the other room, so I'll be right back. Is. I don't know if he will run. Sorry, I've got to use my lower voice. And he's running. Go treats. That's right. Sorry, he's still very nervous. I did put the treats down next to where he ran off to. So yeah, hopefully he'll eat the treats. But yeah, he's still very, very nervous. All right, let's get this fixed. So, where's my code? We are going to create a new file, and it's going to be called API permissions.py. Easy done. We're going to add it in. I'm going to leave generic permissions like that. And I'm going to have a look at the object permissions. I'm just going to bump that off to the side for reference. We're going to go all the way up to the top. We're not going to import all of these. And whilst I'm doing that, implement cool. We need permission denied from func tools import the wraps, and then from .partials we kind of want generic permissions, import generic permissions. We're not going to go with anything else at the moment. We're not going to deal with the functional dictionary at the moment. So what this does is, depending on the object, depends what permission it'll use. That's just used to help as a quick lookup, instead of using a bunch of if statements and so forth like that. This will be def check use API permissions. Yeah, I think check user API permissions, and then we got a min permission level, and then extra permissions. At the moment, we won't probably implement extra permissions. I know I'm going to implement it later. In fact, I'm just going to get rid of that. I know I'm going to implement it later. And then what this does is checks the user's generic permissions. It will gather both the destination and location ID from the args and quags. From here, it will determine which partial, actually, no, we don't have args and quags. It will gather both from the API URL. Easy done. From here, it will determine, oops, wrote that wrong, which partial permission it should be checking against. The result from the partial will determine if the user is granted permission or denied. Alright, cool. So def, the decorator, simple func, easy done, and we're wrapping that around a function. And then we've got the def inner request, args and quags, and then at the moment we're just going to go a equals hello world, because I want to play around with this first, and then we're just going to return func request args and quags and user level equals 4. Oh, do we need the user level? I think in some cases we actually do need the user level. Yeah, that is also one thing which we've got to sort of figure out too in the near future is when do we need stuff like the user level and so forth like that. Okay. So I was just having a good think. We're going to put a breakpoint on here. And we've got to, return inner, and then return decorator. Easy done. So I'm having a look at the request that's coming through. I think we could break up the URL with that, because the URL will be very, very simple. It will be quite literally the object and then an ID if that ID exists. So yeah, we won't have. Yeah, I've got a. Got to think of cases where it will be different. Like you'll have a Kanban board, and you're getting the Kanban cards. All right, now I can see there being with children there being a little bit more complexity with it. Okay. Let's just jump straight into it. Let's go over into our code. I'm going to put this one back over here because it should be fine for the moment. We are going to go into the project API. We're going to. Oh, we really should be checking the permissions for the list anyway. Actually, we don't need to for the list. So I'm just, give me a couple of seconds. I'm going to reference something. So we've got our search. We've got our search views. And if I go up to, so check sprint with sprint, that's the potential object list. All right, so I'm just after this basic. I've opened up sprint, not search. It just requires login. All right, so in this sort of case, with the list, we're fine. With the destroy and with the retrieve, knocked over my stool. This is where we need to actually do something different. This is where I will remove this. We'll hover over this. We'll just add that in. And that should be fine. So if we go up to here, I'm just going to put a 1 up here. It's not working. Ah. Give me a couple of seconds. Object. All right, we're going to hit this one. We're opening up this. So with the request and args and quags. So if we double click on args, we've got it down here. We can open it up. We've got a 0. We've got a post for the query. We've got data. Nah, that's fine. Post. Query params we don't have. Authentication. Yep. That's all good. User. Pass context. Oh, we do have quags with a primary key. That actually might help us in a way. So, under the generic permissions, sorry, the object permissions, scroll all the way up, check users generic permissions. Destination. Otherwise, yeah, we won't be able to find the location ID if we go into else. Yeah, and then it goes into here, generic permissions. We go over here, generic permissions. We don't have... Alright, no, it's best to actually sort of write this out properly. Let's not get too crazy. Alright, so we've got the quags. We do have a primary key in there. I've also got to find something where we can be like, this is the object. Alright. So I'm going to close args. I'm going to open up quags. We've got PK1. I've also got request. And I'm looking for... So it'll be request. I mean... I can pass through the object, and then we can get the object ID if it exists, and then we can check to see if the user has permission against that object. We can do it. It's just, it doesn't work when there's a child element at the moment, and we haven't gotten to the child elements just yet. And I think those will be special cases. But then also at the same time, we've now got... Anyway, there is an ad break. I will be right back. Sorry, I just need to go to the bathroom. I won't be long. Alright. Sorry about that. And welcome back, everyone. So... I'm just trying to think. We've got generic permissions. We've got object permissions. If we scroll up, we've got the check. We've got that sort of data. We just need to pass through the object. We could pass through the object up here, but we need to make it generic. Because it could come from the URL. Which probably means that I've got to build up all these permissions now. Okay. Anyway, I'm just going to turn on the fan. It is hot in here. I just need a little bit of airflow. Probably close the blinds. Okay. Okay. So, one of the issues I have is I want to make these sort of permissions as generic as possible. So, if we want the data to come through on the API, we want to be able to be like, all right, cool. This is the object and so forth like that. This is what happens when it's these particular cases and so forth like that. If it happened to be with a Kanban card, this is what we want to do with the Kanban cards and so forth like that. And we don't want to have a complete and utter dog's breakfast like we used to with the permissions. We spent ages sort of limiting them down to, this is the minimum sadly, because for example organization permissions work completely different to basic object permissions. The permission denied is just in there for test. The sprint permissions and Gantt chart permissions, they all work very differently because, and customer permissions. Just because they work a bit differently. They don't have groups associated with them. So we look directly at the user's permissions around that. To see if anyone has given them access to those particular levels of data requirement. So essentially we've got to do the whole thing again with it. And I'm just thinking how we can tackle this. Because there's a couple of things. When I start moving the object data over into the API, which is our end goal with this API sort of stuff, a lot of these more complicated permissions will be extracted out of this, but the object permission will still work. We've just got to make the API permission as generic as the object permission. The customer permissions will still be like that, because they just will be. Everything on the page gets rendered, and yeah. So if I were to have a look at the quarks, we've got the primary key. So that will be the location ID. If we have a look at the args, I'm just having a look what's down here. Oh, sorry. Oh. Query tick, no. Stream, none. Successful authentication. Yep. User equals admin. Version, protected schema. I don't know what the arg would be. Let's have a look up here. The args is just that. The REST framework, get. That's the URL, the quags. But yeah, that's... That doesn't go... Oh, sorry. Post is nothing. I can't get anything out of that. And once again, we want to set up the API to have the same sort of permissions that we've already got. So, the other thing I could potentially look at is the request. So if I minimize all this, this is the request. Got allowed methods and all that kind of stuff. I'm looking for the URL. You got the query set. We've got the request and request. I wonder if that's it. I'm just going to hit play. I'm going to hit refresh, try again. We're going to bump this down here. Alright, cool. Let's go Django get URL from request. Not what we want. I want the get. All right, no problem. Because we don't want all of the URL. All right. Okay, let's find out. No, didn't like it. Actually, maybe. I'm 50-50 on that working. Oh, it worked. Alright, so from here we can get what we require. And hey, Sherry, how are you going? Hopefully you're going well. Welcome back. And I'm assuming Taku is there too. Hello, Taku. How are you? How are both of you? Hopefully both of you are going well. Alright, so... And RW Grim with the raid. Hey, how is it? How was the lunar eclipse? So yes, welcome everyone. So for those that are in the raid, I'm Robotic Head. I've been working on NearBeach, an open source project management system, for a while now. It can gather sort of basic organization, customer details. It's got Kanban board functionality. It's got user requirements, where you can collect user requirements. You can also create projects and tasks, and when you're ready to deploy, you've got requests for changes. Good. I barely missed totality because it got cold. Fair enough. Fair enough. Yeah. But at least you're like, all right, I can just imagine it. So usually whenever there's a lunar event or anything like that, just clouds, just absolutely clouds follow me. So, yep. And when we get a solar eclipse, I remember actually the last lunar eclipse, I had my camera set up on a tripod and I was taking photos and adjusting it slowly, and you could just see the clouds come in as it was happening and just take over, and I was like, alright. I wonder when we're getting a solar eclipse. I've never experienced one of these. Alright, the next Australia solar eclipse will... okay, in a couple of years. I've got to travel to Sydney. I hate to raid a run, but I got to get to the... Yep, all good. Thank you very much for the raid. So, greatly appreciate it. Alright, for those also who've just joined, we are finally implementing an API into NearBeach. However, we've come across a couple of permission issues where we're like, alright, we've got to re-implement the permissions, but at the API level. However, that being said, it's not the worst case ever. Because what we've done already can sort of be reconfigured to work with what we've got. So yeah, our permissions are a bit crazy. So what I'm thinking is if we grab this, strip out the API, we've then got projects and that. In fact, even if we have the API in there, we can trim it out. Alright, I'm just gonna hit play. Let it pass its thing. So it was API projects 1 type of thing. And we'll have cases where it will probably be API Kanban board. So Kanban. Let's say the Kanban number and then the card. Like that. So there will be cases like that. And I can see their cases being 3. Stuff like that. So if we have the URL like that, I'm just going to get rid of that. And then what we want to do I've got to say URL string. Hang on, this is where I have to look it up. Oh, yep. And then we want to get rid of API from the whole thing. And we want to trim end. So 3.9 newer, you can remove prefix or remove suffix. Which is what we want. And don't forget, everyone, you can drop if you're on Twitch. So exclamation point dropped followed by your favorite emoji. I'm doing shocked max. We have to beat Nightbot. So what I'm doing here is I'm removing the API and then I'm removing the last one. So we'll end up with something. Sorry, I was meant to hit that one. something that will look like projects1, which is what we want. Then we can do a split. So instead of having URL string here, we can have a URL list. And then there'll be a simple split done on that. So extract the URL string and split into a list. Okay, cool. And when they finally implement like I said before, towards the end of this year, so in October, we'll come back to this and we'll remove what I'm doing and put in a switch statement. It's just that we are supporting 3.9 Python because it's still supported until October this year, and that doesn't have a switch statement in it. So yeah, that's the only reason why we're doing these if-elses. So what we want to do is I'm going to have object equals nothing and then location ID equals 0 as the default setup. And then if the length of the URL list equals 1, we're going to go object equals URL list, and we're just taking the first one. Easy done. We're not having to worry about any other things. 3.9 doesn't. So it has switch statements called match case. However, match cases, they look very much similar. Hang on. There you go. They look very similar to how you should be used to them. You've got the match, and then you've got the cases, and so forth like that. However, this is not available in 3.9. So if we go to 3.9, there's no documentation on it. They just don't have it. Yeah. Oh, more pattern matching, eh? Oh yeah, subject. Yeah. Oh, no. And thank you very much for the followed. Fahad is. Welcome. So yeah, I'll eventually implement that in here, but at the moment we're just doing a if-else type of situation. So else if the object URL list equals 2, we go object equals URL list, once again 0, the location ID will equal URL list 1, and at the moment we're not worried about dealing with child objects. Once again, we're slowly releasing this, so we won't think too far ahead. Mainly because we might come up with something better as we're sort of implementing it at this level. So yeah, that's that. Now, we can potentially call generic permission. And so I'm having a little think. Because we can potentially call this. This API is just adding. Oh, sorry, wrong one. This API is just being a middleman, being like, all right, cool, we're going to split the URL up, and we're actually getting those particular details from the URL, which will give us a lot more power later on, because we'll be able to be like, all right, what is the object? What is this? Yeah, it'll just be a lot easier to do. Okay. So. We got all this. Actually, we can do that. I'm going to put a little thing there. I'm just going to test this little tiny function out right now. We will actually remove that one line. Go over here. We're just going to hit refresh. So we've hit this. We've got the data API projects. We're removing the API thing and then we're splitting. And something broke. So we go back to here. Replace expects 2 arguments, got 1. Whoops. Trust me to replace. Yes. We're replacing it with nothing. So I'm just going to hit refresh. So we've got that. We're replacing it. So we've got URL list now, which is just projects and 1 in it. We're setting the object up as nothing. We're setting quarks as nothing. If the length is 1, no, length is 2. This is what we want. And then we hit play. And once again, we'll edit this later. Now with this one, we've got the quarks. And then we can go location ID equals URL list 0. Now why am I doing this? It's so I can set everything up so we can potentially just use the generic permissions. And thus not having to create any more code. Which is nice. And I just realized I am actually watching myself on Twitch. I am lurking myself. So I actually want to not do that. Alright, give me a couple of seconds, sorry. Oh. Okay. I just realized I didn't mute my whole entire PC. So all right. So we should be on there, and then if I have a look at object permissions, when we call generic permissions, we go through length, quads, destination, and so forth like that. So we do a bunch of work to shape everything how we want. If we're moving this all to the API, we might want to think about simplifying a lot of this, because a lot of complexity comes in here due to certain cases. But once again, those certain cases disappear if we're moving pretty much all the calls to the APIs, apart from when you load up those 1 pages and stuff like that. So okay, this will be the generic one. So I'm just going to copy that 1 line. We are going to paste it here. Now the destination. All right, cool. So instead of object, I should use NearBeach terminology. And so forth like that. And then we'll hit the quarks, destination, request. So we should be all happy with that. and then it should be pretty much the rest of this. 1, 2, 3, that's 90 to 98. So we're going to yank, let's say 10 lines. So we have passes, user level, extra level, generic permission. So that should all pass through now without a problem. If I go into no project matches given query, if I go refresh, cannot resolve projects into field choices are. Oh. Yeah, and this is what I was thinking about the other day. So that's actually going to make me change this URL straight away. So the idea now is it's all singular. It should match up an object, and an object ain't going to be plural. So if I go into here and I just remove that one, and now we've got another area. Field project ID expected a number, but got project. Okay. Let's jump onto this. I'm going to put a breakpoint here. We're going to see if we hit it. We do. So we go forward. Okay, it happened. Yep. So it actually happens somewhere in here. So I'm going to put a breakpoint in here. Oh. And thank you very much for the follow, Thayup Warp. So yeah, Grim's a cool guy. We've both been working on a single project for a very, very long time. So yeah, and it's good to see Pigeon is actually, you know, almost there. Oh, all right. I accidentally was not paying attention, and that happened really, really quickly. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to close all other tabs. We are going to open up the generic permissions. We had a breakpoint up here. I think it passed all this. I think we got up to here, so I'm just going to do something like that. And Scotty B, how are you? Hopefully you're going well. It is Friday, so yay. So I'm happy. Alright, so we reached this one. It says Quag's location ID. Oh, it's project. Oh, ad break in progress. Alright, cool. For those on YouTube, we run ads on Twitch every half an hour. The idea being is people won't get pre-rolled ads whenever they join the channel, which really suck. Absolutely suck. Now, the thing is, you're on YouTube, you don't get ads. So, yeah. And during these ads, I do this. There will be a lot of people on Twitch who also don't get ads for a numerous number of reasons, whether it's turbo, whether or not they're actually subscribed, or they might be lucky that there's just no ads for them in their country, which has happened, which does actually happen for some people, which is kind of funny. So yeah, and what we tend to do is, so no one misses out, we just solve a Rubik's Cube and stuff like that, and talk to people. So yeah. So green's got to go on this side. All right. All right. I've done all the centers. Usually that means that I am almost over the ads. So yep, we're just gonna wait 3 more seconds, and welcome back everyone. Let's jump back into it. You're trying out Neary Window Manager. So far, so good. Like, they want way it works and how quick it is. Fair enough. Fair enough. I have not played with the Neary Window Manager. Okay, it's all tiling and stuff like that. Yep. One day I will give tiling window managers a go. So, yeah. Anyway, we've got this. I've spotted the mistake. So if we have a look at the quags, then we open them up, you'll notice that the location ID equals project. That doesn't make any sense. So we're going to hit play with this one. It's just going to go all the way through. We're happy with that one. We're going to go back with the API permissions and realize that, yeah, I put the URL list as 0. It should be 1. Actually, whilst I'm here, actually no, because we've got to think about how we're doing this. All right, I'm just going to go refresh until we hit this. So we're happy with that. I'm just going to undo that and just hit play. There we go. No projects matched given query. So the reason being is, well, we'll have to go over to the serializers. Not serializers. I'm minimizing everything, opening up NearBeach. I'm opening back. The best description for Neary is a tiling / floating sliding window manager. Oh, all right. Yeah, I've just never done a tiling, window manager before. Even though I mainly set up my stream as somewhat tiling, because if we have a look on here, I've only got 2 things on this page, 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 1 thing on this page, and okay, 3 things on this page, but usually I would put that over there. So I kind of set up something like that. But yeah, I just haven't used one. All right, opening up NearBeach, we want the views, API, and then the project API views. So I'm going to put this over on there. So I'm going to hit that. I'm going to go back onto here. I'm going to hit. That's what's happened. Okay, that's an easy fix. So we've sort of blanked out the primary key and we just made it location ID. So in here, what we want to do is starters. I want to break this up like that, and then I want to do project ID primary key equals location ID. Oh, yeah. Yeah, PK equals none. Okay. I'm going to go back to API permissions. Before we edit the quags, I'm going to put a little thing here. I'm going to hit play. I'm going to hit refresh. So we're here. Yeah, quags is in there. All right, so I'm gonna undo that. Because yeah, all we're doing is we're just putting the location ID. And once we sort of migrate everything to the API and stuff like that, we're more than welcome to come back here and refactor this so it's a lot more simpler. So instead of using PK, well, we could potentially use PK and stuff like that and pass that through. We like the term location ID instead over PK. So we just gotta, there it goes. So this also has PK1, which we're happy with. So this should all just work now. There we go. Cool. All right. Now the reason why I purposely didn't, then again, if we're doing a list type of thing, we're not actually doing that. We're actually being very specific. We could potentially simplify this once more and being like, because when we're searching, we don't apply any permissions. Except the usual, making sure the user's logged in and stuff like that. Which is already done, already set up. We're not checking to see if the user has any sort of permissions for that particular object, because we won't return any objects if they don't have any permissions. That's part of the process. At least I need to test that out, that theory out. Let me just write that down, sorry. So the question is, if a user has no project permissions, will they be able to search for projects? So re-implementing this API will give us a sort of chance to be like, all right, can they search for the projects? Should they be able to search for the projects? And the thing is, we are giving them details within that search. So yes. Might be one of those things where we sort of double check everything. Because yeah, they've got search details. Yeah, I'll have to figure this out. Anyway, getting back into this. So we have, I'll just put that like that. We've got the extractor URLs and we're pretty much happy with this. In theory, we could turn this into looking at a certain thing. Hang on. We can test this out. Give me a couple of seconds. So we're going into NearBeach, where we're going into the users. Let's do Bob. All right, let's add permission set. Let's call it limited task permissions. And then what we're doing is we're creating no permissions apart from on tasks. And then we're adding in Bob. Part of the QA team. All right, so Bob is in there. Hell, we'll make him a team leader of this particular group. Okay, so in here we have Bob. We're going to go to the back end. We're going to save and add another, and we're going to use Bob. And there is Bob. Okay, we are just going to use this token. Oh, sorry, I've used the wrong copy and paste. We need to remove that. You do not have permissions for this action. So yes, I am actually doing it, which is awesome news. So what will actually happen is if we actually go to a particular group, even though we're having a look at the group, we don't have permissions to that user, particular user. If I go into project though, if I'm searching all the projects, it is pulling out all the projects. That's what I need to actually fix. So, I need to go into the code. We need generic permissions. With the generic permissions, object lookup quargs. We're assuming quargs is up here. What we can actually do is, because we're only looking up the location ID with those quargs, we're going to have has attribute quargs got location ID. Okay, that is better code. We're specifically being like, hey, we need the location ID to be in here. If it isn't in here, we don't care about anything else. We're gonna just run that. So if I hit send again, all right, what I want to do is I want to go into the API view. I'm just gonna copy this, and I'm just gonna paste it. And I'm going to hit search. Perfect. That's what we want. And then if I go over back to this user who's an admin user, perfect, that's what we want. Perfect, that's what we want. All right. Cool. Simplifying the code, kinda. You know, we're adding a little bit more, but at the same time we're simplifying it. I don't know why I used the leng when I did, but that's not a problem. We've fixed it up. Okay. So I'm getting distracted with this again. You Southern Hemisphere person, spring is starting. Too late for snow, spring is coming. We technically are in autumn, but for the last week and a bit, apart from today, so yesterday, which was the 13th, for 10 whole days straight, we had over 30 degrees Celsius. Yeah, from the 3rd to the 13th, it was, I was at that point where I was like, I just can't do it anymore. So, yeah. Alright, too late for snow. I remember it snowed on the 4th of April one time in the UK. Alright, we have fixed an issue. That being said, It doesn't affect the search on the site itself. The person can actually search on the site, but we don't want them searching on the API because they'll have access to extra bits of data and stuff like that, which we don't want to give them. And moving forward, we might, do a double, So I'm just giving, having a little think. Going forward, I can fix up a few things because yeah, this is actually a bug. Well, we've just fixed it. So yeah, this is great. And then what we could do is, those are team leaders. Okay. So we no longer need the generic. We've got the API permission, which looks at the URL, splits up the URL, and then we've got the location ID, we've got the destination and stuff like that in there. So we've got permissions working, and we kind of want to do that with the destroy one. How are we deleting? Okay, I'm going to put that one back onto team leader. Boom. All right, cool. But they won't have access to project one. No, they don't. That's perfectly fine. Oh. They shouldn't have access to... Give me a second, sorry. Team leader. All right. So going up, we've got the retrieve. We should not be passing, so I'm going to put on the breakpoint here. And what we want to do is, we're getting the API for one. We should not have permissions. So we're going over here. We've got the request. Yeah, we're doing the shortcut for the moment. Once again, we'll probably, depending on the situation, yeah, we'll either keep this very generic or we'll separate this out. I don't know. It will happen when we actually sort of wrap up all the API nodes. So extra permissions equals nothing. If extra permissions in Quargs, so Quargs itself doesn't have any extra permissions in it. So that's perfectly fine. The Quargs themselves do have a location ID. Oh. We got to do this up here, not... Alright. If location ID in Quargs. Alright, I'm just going to hit play. I'm going to hit send. I'm just going to click on this one. I'm just going to hit... I'm going to reboot it. Sorry. Alright, it went in there. There you go. You do not have... Perfect. Okay, so... I'm going to write down my notes very quickly. I'm just going to be like fixed. What we'll also need to do, create user permissions, like a, all right, create permission set. And user, where all permissions are set to 0. And the reason why I want to do that is I will create API keys around all these and stuff like that, and I'll test it to make sure that particular user doesn't have any permissions. So they'll get the 403 forbidden access, which is going to be great when we unit test, because yeah, we want to make sure all of our unit tests are checking the permissions and so forth like that. So yeah. And Taku, how are you? Hopefully you're going well. Yes, I am enjoying my stream. So we're getting stuff sorted, making sure permissions are working. For example, this one isn't getting any data. It's saying I have no permission. And then when I go to one where I do have permission, I can access it. So, which is good. So yeah, I've just got to, I'm writing down notes at the same time to make sure that I don't forget anything. I will probably forget a lot because there's a lot to do. So I reckon this API system will probably take me to the end of the month, I reckon. So yeah. Okay, so going in here, we've just got to test the destroy now, and I don't know how to destroy. So I'm just going to remove all of those, and what I'm going to do is Django REST framework destroy URL. Delete HTTP method. Oh, all right. Nope, that's going to be a lot easier to do. So we are going to duplicate this one. I'm going to say this one's like that, that one's like that. I'm going to open this up, fail. This one is going to be path or 200, I'm going to say. And then I am going to duplicate. And this is delete. Project 1. And this is going to 403. I'm going to change that to a 403. So 403 is forbidden. We're going to change this to a delete. Alright. None of the URLs are copying over, which is annoying. So if we send this, 500 internal server error. Alright, no problem. We'll actually fix this up now. So, yeah. And then we'll do a rethink for the CRUD. So for those that don't know, CRUD stands for create, read, update, and delete. And essentially, if you just remember that, you go through it and be like, all right, cool. And then there's the list functionality too. So what I want to do is I want to close that. I want to go over here. I want to, so with the destroy, we've got this min permission. So we're going to go into this implementation. We're going to put a little thing here and we're going to see what's going to happen. So I'm going to go send. We don't even hit that. I'm going to hit preview. You call this URL via delete, but the URL doesn't end with a slash, and you have append slash set. I mean, that one's going to have a problem too. Authorization. All right. Sorry, I'm just... All right, no, that's part of the params. I don't want that. I'm just going to hit play. This one should work perfectly fine. This one. All right, cool. Headers, authorization. We're going to paste that in like that. We're just going to hit send. We've got this. I'm just going to hit play. We should have 403 forbidden. Perfect. So what I could potentially do now is do it on a real project, knowing full well that I'm going to destroy stuff in here. So I'm just going to go to the list project. I'm going to go send. I'm going to be like, oh, yes, that's meant to be project now. And I'm going to hit send. Realize I've got that still on there, so I'm going to undo that. Do that. All right, cool. It's number 17. We're going to get rid of number 17. Project deleted. Perfect. So if we have a look at this, we've got data project deleted. All right. Cool. And then if we go to this particular one list, we hit refresh, notice how 17 is no longer there. It's actually being deleted. However, if we go into the back end, we scroll all the way down to our projects. I'm just picking any project at the moment. We're going to 17. You can see it's being soft deleted, which is what we want. We don't want hard deletions at all in this system, especially from the API, because that's way too dangerous. If it's a soft delete, we'll be fine. I'll need to update the change user and all that kind of stuff. I'll also probably enter in the future who the deletion user is, or who deleted it. However, we should be updating the change user every single time. So, oh, we've just hit ads. Okay, cool. I can solve this very, very quickly. Well, it's 8:45, so yes. All right. Okay. Getting that all done, having a look at that. All right, we've got blue and white over there. We just need to do this, we need to do this, and we need to do this. All right, and we need to do that. And then realize that, ooh, those two are like that. And then do something like that. And there we go. We've got essentially paired up all the edge pieces. And welcome back, everyone. So, let's go through the CRUD in this. So we've got the create, we'll need the API permissions, because we still want that in there, and for good reason. If we feed it all through one particular zone, yeah, that will work perfectly fine. Okay. This is just going to be like that. Sorry, I should put this down. And I'll pick up the other one. Yeah. So we serialize stuff. We've got to fix this up in a minute, because I'm not happy with the group list not being serialized correctly. We need that check going through. Otherwise, people can pass through some random stuff. So, yeah. And then once that check is done, organization instance, yeah, we grab that. We're happy with that. Project status, yeah, we're happy with all of that. Because that will grab the first one, which we put in there, and then we're all happy with that. And then it all does that. Sweet. The next thing is destroy change user. Yep, cool. We are doing the change user request. So if I go over here, now that says admin. But yeah. All right. So got the list. Everything's fine. We haven't done the update yet. The update will be a put, and we've got to figure out what needs to go inside the put. It won't be everything that goes inside the put. So there will be a few things that we will remove from the put. For example, organization. Organization doesn't need to come through, because once a project is set up with an organization, it sticks with that organization. It doesn't move around. That's a security feature. And the reason being is you might set something up against an organization, key in some names and stuff like that, and then go whoops, wrong organization, and then connected to the organization, but there's still some lingering connections. And remember, sometimes you can send out public links to organizations and they can jump in and be like, oh, hello. So with this particular one, I'm going to do a put. So I am going to duplicate. And then this is going to be a put. We're going to call it put 200. We'll need some information in here, and we'll get that very quickly. That won't be a problem. Did I want to put back on the HTML view temporarily? To kind of help, but at the same time, I'm going to see. Bless me, sorry. All right. I just need the put to work at the moment. Thank you, Adrian. So yeah, that was loud. I feel sorry for the cat, who's probably being like, "Oh God." Considering he was very scared when I came in here and spoke my normal sort of voice. He's like, you're yelling. All right, it does send back 418 I'm a teapot, which is awesome, by the way. We might put that in as an Easter egg somewhere in the code. I might write that down. Uh, 418 I'm a teapot. Easy done. All right, so At the moment, it's coming back with I'm a teapot, which is great. That's just the thing we've put in there. We will need to... Yeah, I am going to go to our URLs. I'm going to put this at the very, very start. I'm going to open up this. This is the simple router, and then what we want is, I think, the default router. We're going to comment that one out. We're going to go router equals default router, like so. And the reason why we're doing this is just to make sure we're getting all the correct fields and so forth like that. So we want to go in here. We want to hit the project. Yes, and we did quite a number of things to get this to work. All right, now let's just, so if I hit escape, thank you very much. All right, I'm gonna leave it like that. We're going to just plow through this. So we're going to the project API. We're gonna go all the way back down. Now, we won't need to do any of this. Oh, and we need to update the, def to use generic search. Sorry, a lot of this is duplicated code, and what we want to do is use generic search. So we'll actually key in the generic search and pass through all the params how we need it. That way we're not duplicating code as much, so stuff like that. And we purposely built up the search functionality to do this. So yeah, and then we've got check permissions. Now, it's the create one which we're dealing with. So we need to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, we need to do that. And then we get a 400 bad requests. Perfect. So we need these particular fields that are here for it to work. So I'm going to start implementing that. So we need project name. Is going API project. Come on. We need project description. That's just going to be hello world. Nothing out of the ordinary for that. The project start date. Now that's going to be in a specific format. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up the database very, very quickly. Select everything from NearBeach project, where 1 equals 1, and project ID equals 1. Yeah, we're just copying the value, we're just pasting it in here, like so. Then we've got project and date. Project status. Oh, I think that's just got to be a number. Project priority. That's also got to be a number. And group list is not needed. Now, the fact that it's saying it's needed here is a little concerning because it's only This is part of form data. Alright, let's just delete all of this. Yeah, the fact that the group list here has been like, you need group lists, and it's like, no, we need it when we create the object, not when we're editing the object. Now, the fact that I was able to create something before without it, it's driving me nuts, this group list, which is what we'll tackle next, is setting this up. We'll probably remove it from the group ID, and we'll actually have, or we'll have to manually put everything in there, and it's not ideal, but in this sort of case, I think verbosely, we need it. Yeah. Alright. So, I want body. What I'm going to do, just to double check, instead of typing this all out again, API project, we're going to do this. We're going to resend it. There we go. And notice how the groups just disappeared now? And we got I'm a teapot. All right, cool. So the I'm a teapot is a joke at the moment. That's just a joke sort of thing. So if people come across that, they're like, hang on a minute, this shouldn't work. We'll be adding in a Easter egg in a minute. So yes. All right. Going back over here. So we've serialized everything, it's passed everything. We're now happy to sort of put this data where we need it to. So we've got update, we've got the requests. I'm just going to put a breakpoint on there. I'm going to hit send again. All right, cool. So over here, we've got the quarks, location ID, PK equals 2. Do I have to put PK in here? Like that. I'm just going to hit play. It's going to do its own thing. You can hit send again. So if we hover over PK, PK is 2. All right, cool. Perfect. That's what we wanted. So straight away, we're going to do what we do up here. We're going to get query set. Oh, yeah, we should do a query set. We should do this properly. Query set equals project.objects.all. There's our query set. And then we need to go project results or update project equals 404. Sorry, get object or 404. So we've got to do our object, which will be query set, and then we'll do PK equals PK, like so. And then if that 404s. All right, we're happy with that. Or no, hang on a minute. We could just project serializer save, right? Because yeah, it would have already passed the serializers. So I'm still figuring this out. Okay, which one is this? Number 2. So we're going to number 2. This is it. None of this other stuff should change. It's just these particular fields here. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go test and review. I'm going to go, yeah, normal. Those are fine. That's all fine. I'm just going to update project. Everyone's happy with that. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit refresh on here. Got a type error when calling project objects create because you may have a writable field. Okay. Is it update? Uh-huh. All right. One thing I did want to check very, very quickly. Forbidden. All right. So straight away, that will be forbidden. Now, that did everything. What I want to do is, it shouldn't pass the permissions if we can't find it. The serializer should work, so we should be have update project equals project.objects.get where pk equals pk. That should be it. Then update project.project name equals serializer.data project name. And it should be something like that. Now, we did have the thing before where it wasn't working. So we've got project name, project description. So, project start date, project end date, project status. Yeah, I'm just copying and pasting these in. Project priority. And then what we need to do, update project.save. And those are the fields that we're doing. It's very quick and easy. It'll take a second to go through. No, don't worry about showing that. Okay, so if I go send, must be a list of, all right, not a problem. Obtain instances, update project. All right, project status instance. Equals list of project status dot objects dot get, where I think the project status ID equals the serialized dot data, and that will be the project status, and that should be that. Like so. That one isn't connected to a database because we've kept the priorities the same throughout the whole entire system. And there we go. We've got 418. I'm a teapot. What we want to do is we want to be like data equals serializer.data. Because we want to send that back. With the H. Okay, I'm just gonna data equals serializer.data. This one will be $200. Okay. I don't think there's a specific update one. Yeah, there is one that is created, which we should do on the created. We definitely should do that on the created. Otherwise, it should be okay. Accepted, non-information, no content. Partial content. Hang on. Sorry, just organizing something. Yeah, all right, cool. We've done that. So going up here with the create. So we've got the create, we'll go all the way down here. We've got this. I'm going to be data equals serialized data, and then I'm going to be status equals, oh, it's just status. 201 created. All right, I'm going to be happy with that. Okay. So there's the update. So if we go back into here, this should just all update. I'm just going to hit refresh. We get all that preview sort of stuff back. I'm just going to hit the JSON. There it is here. Awesome. Great news. So, and we've got the 200. We're going to go over to here, and if we hit refresh, we've got API project, hello world, we've got the new status, and we've got the high. I'm going to change the stat. Oh yeah, we had it on test and review, and we had it on normal. It's now on high, not highest. Okay, I didn't realize it goes all the way down to 0, but that's perfectly fine. This will be documented. So we will document the statuses and what values they can have and so forth like that. So yeah, we'll also have other endpoints to open up. For example, the list of project statuses and stuff like that. So, yeah. All right. All right. So we've done the update. Now we just got to get the group functionality working. I also want to do a create. So I'm going to duplicate this. It has that. Didn't have, didn't take over the form data, damn it. Not a problem. No, I want to delete that one. All right, I want to... Damn it. All right, I'm just going to click on raw. just going to copy this. I'm just going to go over here. I'm going to go form data. I'm going to go bulk edit, and I'm just going to realize I used the wrong copy. All right. Key value edit. There we go. That's perfectly fine. What I want to do is, instead of get, I want post, and we want to get rid of that. So we should be on something like that. Okay. I'm gonna save this. I'm also gonna save this one too. I'm gonna save this. I'm gonna save this because all of this is really, really good, and I'll organize this. All right. This should be post. Project team leader 200 copy. Because it'll always be a 200 for the team leader because we're posting and creating a new one. So I'm going to go extend organization ID. This field is required. I'm just going to put in a 1 there. Okay, so the groups, when creating, the groups are failing. Which is not what we want. We don't want that at all. So this is actually a problem. So what's actually happened is we will create a project doing this, but it's not connected to any groups. So no one has access to it. And then when you go to add stuff to it later, no one can add stuff to it later unless you got an admin account, which can bypass all of the security. Which by default goes, yep, you can do that, yep, you can do that. So what we've got to do is we've got to change stuff around. So in our serializers, so I'm going to close the generic permissions and stuff like that because we no longer need them. Let's go to our serializers. And we're opening up Project Serializer. This is a hyperlinked model serializer. If we go to this, it's not needed here. There's no data or anything like that. So I'm just going to change that. So the Django REST framework. Documenting the API. All right. This is also what we need to do later. Oh, ad break in progress. I'm so sorry. Okay, it is 9:15 here. We've got probably 45 minutes left. So yeah, what we want to do is try and get this group thing working. Once that's working, we'll probably look at the documentation of it all because once again, we kind of want to do everything all at once. Even though we're doing it piecemeal, object by piecemeal object. So we also need to do the unit tests and so forth like that. And my notes are getting more and more plentiful. So yeah, coming along. Okay, how long are we for the ads? About 25 seconds. Okay, cool. For those on YouTube, we run ads on Twitch every half an hour. The idea being is, so if you join on Twitch, you won't get any ads. However, you're on YouTube, which is perfectly fine. You don't get ads anyway. So yeah, welcome. I hope everyone's going well. We are slowly getting there with this, which is awesome. So yeah. Okay, cool. We're just doing this, Doing that. And the ad should almost be over. Sorry, I just really want to do the cube very, very quickly. And there you go, done. Welcome back, everyone. Okay. So yeah, I don't want this as hyper-serialized links anymore. And I think if we go to the tutorial, and we have a look at the model. Oh, let's create the model, sorry. Yeah, we'll do serializer. What that means is I need to create all the fields that are in the project. We need to do this because essentially the group list itself, because that group list doesn't exist on the table itself. Yeah, it's annoying. We've got required equals true and all that kind of stuff. So if I go back over here and I go to the post and I go send, we've got groups are missing. Untick organization. Yes. We do have group list. Right only is true. Are we still going to have the same problem as before? I don't think that will work, but what I'm going to do, I'm going to put a breakpoint there. I'm going to hit send. So we've hit this. We've got the fields. And if I pop open the fields, we do have required equals true and right only equals true. I might get rid of right only. So I'm just gonna scroll up. I'm just gonna do that to right only. Yeah, that one didn't quite work. If I hit refresh again, I'll get rid of that. Yeah, all right. What I want to do. Still saying organization, this field is required. Required equals true. Okay. So we've removed all knowledge of the table we're looking at, and what we should be able to do now is be like, all right, cool. Can you have a look at this? And yeah, multiple choice field, choices, yeah. Where's the organization? Primary key related field. All right. Yeah, but that... Probably won't work. Oh. Undo. Yep, thank you. And then what we want, query set equals group dot objects dot filter is deleted equals false. All right. We're just restarting stuff. So I don't think this will work, the primary key related field. I think it's just gonna throw up a spanner again. We're just gonna be like, why? Oh, it worked. All right, well. Cool. So up here, we need to write a note. I wish there used to be a way of actually just adding in the thing and it'll insert everything. Give me a couple of seconds. This is a bit random. Use live templating to configure size automatically. I've got to do all that. All right. So settings, Control Alt S. Editor live templates. Give me a template description, class docstring, abbreviate. No, it's fine. It's fine. Alright, cool. Class description comment. What's the proper way? Let's have a look. I am human. I am not AI. Alright, summary of the class object here, abbreviations. Alright, cool. Give me examples. Class C, at decorator method, class C, Okay. I'm just going to put a comment being like, we are using serializer because group list is not in the project table. Okay, cool. So we're just stating that here to be like, all right, cool, this is why we're doing it like this and so forth like that. Please don't change this. And then we've got query set, many will equal false. Hang on. yeah, many will equal false because we're only sending through one. And if we hit refresh, perfect. All right, cool. We need to get rid of this in certain cases. So, right only equals true, but that might hurt our edit functionality. So I'm just jumping onto our edit functionality. So our puts, yeah. Not a problem. Scroll down. When we got outputs, we just do that. Perfect. Kinda. Preview. Project name. Oh yeah, we got to put in all the other fields and stuff like that in a second. So that we've got to put in all of these. So group list. Freaking hit escape, thank you very much. You better not have opened up one of those things. Yeah, we've got to go through all of these, add these all in. So, organization ID, organization name is done. Start date, status, and status name are done. So start date, status, and status name. I think end date is done also. Higher order status is done. Priority is done. Priority name should be also done. UUID is done. Project description. Project description we've got to add in. Project ID and name. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I. Element OP. Oops. So those are the three fields we've got to add in. We can get rid of this now. This is not needed. So we're going to go up here. We're going to put them in, but first what I want to actually do is have a look at the models. So we're having a quick look at the models. We're going to search for project. Here it is. And we're going to double check that all of these line up. So big auto field and stuff like that. So with the ID, we're going to go, all right, cool. This equals serializers. We've got to do serializers dot big. Oh. Because it isn't necessarily an integer field. This is what we're going to look up. We're going to go over here. We're going to go Django REST framework serializers, and then we're going to paste in the big auto field. So use ID equals character field for all model serializers, and use string comparison. Yes, use strings, surrogate primary keys never need to be used as numbers in calculations. Yeah, that's pretty common for JSON, that it should be passed through as normal JSON pass, not something something specifically built for big numbers. All right. If I go over here and I have a quick look at this particular one, yeah, we got it through as a number. I kind of want to send it through as a number too. I'm just wondering if there is a big number. So we've got serializers, datetime field, primary key, read only, model serializer, hyperlinks, integer field. That's probably one which we'll probably use. Boolean field, character, file, UID. float field. What is this? Is a 64-bit integer, much like autofields, except numbers up to that big number. All right, so yeah, NearBeach will be able to hold up that many numbers. That's a big one. I'm just putting millions, billions, trillions. Yeah, that's going to be a huge number. I don't think someone will be able to fill up NearBeach that much. But I should program for it. Django REST framework serializers dot integer fields. Let's actually have a look at the fields themselves. So Boolean fields, string fields, numerical fields. We've got the integer field, the float field. A floating point representation corresponds to fields.float view. So this one corresponds to integer field, small integer field, positive integer field, positive small integer field. All right, decimal field. All right, there is no real connection, is there? Which is a bit annoying. Because what happens if someone were to... Watch out the Rubik's Cube then. I'm just looking up integer field. Integer field is up to this. So 1 to 3. 1, 2, 3. So it's about 2 billion. All right. That can actually be hit. So that is plausible to be hit. We definitely want a bigger number. What do I want to do? Oop, wrong one. Part of me is saying leaning on the float field. Okay, cool. Anyway, project name, that should be serializers dot character field, where the max length is going to be 255. Alright, good. Easy. That will also be required equals true, because we definitely need it true. The ID itself, we don't need it to be that. For the description, that's a text field. So serializers dot text field. Ooh, all right. Now, I am because we still want people to actually get all data. We don't want to truncate this. But I have a feeling that this will cap. We need to require equals true. Okay, I'm going to hit refresh. Where am I? Alright, so we've done that. Yep, that's working perfectly fine. This will be a 403. Do not have emission. Yep, 403. We've got a 200. This is working perfectly fine. There's our thing. There's our character field. We kind of want to yeah, we need an integer field. All right. And welcome. And welcome back. I just, I'm trying to remember how to pronounce your name. I am terribly sorry. And welcome, IcaroBot01. How are you? Oh, wait, that's the translate. Yeah, I'm good. How are you? So, yeah, welcome back. I am just going to be like, hang on. Sorry, I am terrible with pronunciations and stuff like that. Gotta watch an ad. Jose. Alright. There we go. Sorry, I'm terrible with pronouncing names. That's boring. Fair enough. How are you going? Hopefully you're going well. Well, normal? Alright. Oh, Kindle is just gone. Alright, we're getting far with the API, which is good. So we're getting all of this sort of set up. I might put the project ID up at the top. Yeah, put that in alphabetical order. Alright, not a problem. You're doing very well today? Oh, that's good. Initial thought. politeness, prompt, no factual answer needed. Alright. Flawed reasoning assures no need to implement and potential impact to the... She went crazy. Yeah. I'm assuming is that one of your bots? She sent through as a final response. Yep. It's a bot you made. It's a pretty cool bot. Not gonna lie. Yeah. Alright, getting back into this. So we should still be able to post. Now the group list isn't working. And the project ID, that's not a problem. We can remove that very, very quickly. What I'm going to do is click on the wrong thing. I'm going to click on this. I am going to go down with our post. Actually, it should be read-only. We just put a read-only on the project ID. Done. Clearly she has points, as you can see, unrich. Oh, fair enough. Have 7,181.99 ECA points. Okay, well, neat. All right. What was I testing? I was testing this. So we'll have the group list. Now this will be a text, and it will be 1 and 2. Expected. Oh, all right. Oh wait. Neat. It just created it for us. But I'm just seeing that it didn't do the didn't send back the project ID. Other points were had 0 points. Oh yeah, fair enough. Trans English. M turn. Oh, you have no points. Okay, yep. Aw, thank you. Users fantastic. Use the points carefully. Don't spend them all at once. Oh, fair enough. So yeah, no, it's quite kind of neat how it just translates it for you. So yeah. Okay. So one thing I've got to do is I've got to make sure that it passes through the project ID. So, oh, and we've got an ad break happening. All right. Flipped a coin and won 10. Did it? Oh, all right. So it has little chance games in it and stuff like that. Neat. Okay. So, ad time. At least I double checked that it is ads. Ad break and yep. I've done that before where it's been like 1:30 left and I've been like, oh, whoops. Till the ads. One of those days. Alright, doing this, going to do this, going to do that, and then going to do that very, very quickly. How's everyone on YouTube also? Hopefully you're going well. Alright, getting this all done. Easy done. I've got to do that. Okay. There we go. Done. Easy. Finished. Okay. Yes. Yeah. I solved the Rubik's Cube whilst the ads are running, so that way no one misses out on any of the content. So I thought that. So yeah. The ad should be over in 2 seconds. And welcome back, everyone. All right, so in here, we've just done this. We've just found out that, hey, I don't have a project ID coming through. So we're going to quickly fix that up because the system will need that project ID to come through because it'll need that information to load up that page. So yeah, let's do it. Oh, I'm just getting distracted with the cube again. I have a Rubik's Cube, but I don't know how to solve it. Oh, fair enough. There are ways to solve it online. There's the beginner's method where you get essentially a cross, you then get the corners, you then make sure you get one line, and then 2 lines, and then up the top you do another cross at the top, then you get the corners all correct and all that kind of stuff. So that's how I learned 18 years ago. I had to calculate that then. So yeah, a long time ago. Yeah. And I've been able to teach people how to solve it. So yeah. Alright, getting back into this, we want the create. So we're going to open up this, we're going to go to the views, we're going to do the create. So that's the list. Here's the create. So we'll go through and then we're returning the serialized data. But what we should do is we should be I'm going to scroll all the way down. We've got project submit. All right. Serialize the project submit data. So I'm going to put that into there. So we've got the serializers, we're just overriding it. And then we want the project submit. I don't think we need the context, but we're going to leave it in there anyway. How old am I? I am 38. So yes, I've been around for a while now. So yeah, I'm just going to recreate this. We have an issue when serializer is passed. A data keyword argument is valid before. Oh, okay, cool. My dream. All right. We need to look around 20. Oh, thank you. The top of my head doesn't feel 24. Let's just say that it is. Oh, looks 24. That's how I can tell. Is the fact that all my hairs migrated from up here to here. So yeah, this song was playing on my TV. Oh, nice. So yeah. All right. So we need an is valid to get this. Turn response I'm going to return errors. I'm going to say data equals that, and then what I'm going to say is status is going to equal the status dot. I'm going to say this is a 500 internal server error. Because at this point it is, it should be. It's about a program called P2Me, stock money, which basically gives 200 reais per month to students. Ah, nice. So yeah, oh, that's nice of them. Alright, I'm going to hit send again. We got nothing back. We did hit the end. Alright, what I got to do is then I've got to fetch that data and send it back. So, what I want is I want project results equals project.objects.get, and then pk equals project submit.project ID. Alright, and what I'll do is I'll bump those onto new lines, and because I like to do that. And then instead of project submit here, we just go project results, and then we serialize everything. And yes. Ask if I explode, what happens? If you explode, no, your matter would rapidly disperse, releasing energy as heat and light. It wouldn't be a pleasant experience. I love it. I love the bot. Yeah. What she said makes sense. Yes. Alright, I'm going to hit send. I'm going to add a breakpoint here. I'm going to hit send again. We hit that breakpoint. We go forward. We've got the results. We're going to serialize. And then we're going to make sure it is valid. So I'm going to open up this. I'm going to... Oh, why is it data? Oh, I think I know why. Because it's not a bottle. And good morning, MetaWatt. How are you going? Hopefully you're going well. Alright. Yeah, your pot didn't say much. Trans inlet. I wouldn't even know how to pronounce any of that. So, yeah. What I could potentially do is we don't need to we could send back that. And I think that will be better. We're doing a lot less work. Testing, back view, yep. I woke up an hour ago trying to figure out how my finance my dream game, since I know I won't be able to make said game myself. Fair enough. Remember, you can do it as little tiny pieces and build yourself up to it. So yeah. Alright, project ID 38, perfect. This is what we want. And once again, we'll document this and be like, all right, cool, to actually, you then just run the other command and stuff like that. Anyway, I am going to answer your question a little bit better than I did MetaWatt. So give me a second. I'm going to set stuff up. We are almost at the end of stream, by the way. It is 10 p.m., but that's fine. Going to plug that in. And all right, so let's say you got a big giant game idea. So actually let's do oh, neat. So let's just pretend this is you and you have this big giant idea. Okay, it's pretty big. All right, now my recommendation is not to lose that dream, but split it up into small, manageable pieces. And the idea is you just tackle some of these every now and then. You just tackle just a little tiny thing. Do little tiny projects. Little projects you can do within like a day or two or something like that. And then, yeah, one day you'll just look at it and be like, no, I know how to tackle 90% of that. I can get 90% of that done within a couple of weeks. So, yeah. So, yeah. Remember, I've got NearBeach. This is a massive project, and currently we're implementing an API, and instead of implementing the whole API across the whole system at the moment, we're just starting with projects. And then once we sort of perfect the project side of thing, we know what to do for the next section and the next section and stuff like that. So yeah, we're just dealing with a small little task at the moment. So I'm trying to go from default assets RPG Maker to trying to make my own fighting game. Fair enough. Fair enough. Would you use stick figures in your fighting game? And be like the good old early noughties with stick figure fights and so forth like that. Have you been selected for miniature payment? Pay the Ica points with pre-minute. You've done rotoscoping for. There we go. And it doesn't need to be perfect at the start. Remember, a lot of games when GTA 6 got leaked, so GTA 6 leaks, alpha leaks, it looked horrible. Absolutely horrible. I don't know if that is the GTA link. I just clicked on the image. But yeah, I'm pretty sure that's not one of the leaks. But anyway, it looked horrible. Absolutely horrible. People were like, is this really GTA 6? Are you just pulling our leg? And then it's just that, no, you essentially get all the mechanics all working, and then you slowly patch up something else, you move to something else, patch it, and so forth like that. So, yeah. Doesn't need to be perfect straight away. So, let's see what we've done today with the CRUD. So create, read, update, and delete. So with the create, we've just tested it. I'm happy with it. It is sending back data we want. So it's actually sending back this sort of thing. So we could potentially move the API calls in the front end soon. If that works, then we can deprecate some of the what we did before. But for the moment, this looks like this is created. What needs to be done? So we've done the created. The delete works. We're happy with the delete. The update works. And the reads work. So, yeah. I think this is all done. Let me just double check my Discord, because I did write... this is, by the way, this information is actually open for you guys if you visit our Discord. On Discord, we sort of ask people what they kind of want with the development process of NearBeach. So yeah, the API is coming along. Cool. So we're done, ready for testing. So we did that today. We've tested it. We added in the permissions. The read, we've tested, added in the permissions. The update, we implemented, and we implemented the permissions for. The delete, we've done and implemented permissions for. And the list, we've done and implemented the permissions for. So, yeah. We also got to implement the ability for the API key to be added to the user, which is something we need to do right away, almost right away. Yeah, I don't want to release this until I've got the unit tests out, just because this becomes a permissions issue, security issue and stuff like that. So yeah. Anyway, I'm going to call it there tonight. It is just past 10 p.m. I've been working non-stop today. I've only had an hour break between the end of work and this. So let's find someone to raid. We've got Matt Bird's quest. What are they working on? Yeah, we'll visit them. So yeah, they're currently working. So yeah. Anyway, thank you very much everyone for coming along and having a fun time. So yeah, we're getting there, we're getting better with the API. Yeah, I just got to do the unit test. I've got to do a few things which I've written down in here, and then we'll do a release. Now I've also got to double check to make sure that there haven't been any security issues recently. If there have been with any of the libraries that I use, I will do a release tomorrow. It won't be hard for me to actually do. So yeah, anyway, thank you very much. Yes, thank you. You also have a good day. Thank you very much, Adrian. You also have a great weekend, and I shall see you guys on Monday. So yeah, thank you. And for those on YouTube, thank you very much for hanging around, and I shall see you next time. So yeah, Xiane.